Today is December 4th, and this is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topic is Taiwan President comments on Chinese invasion. Taiwan President Tsai was interviewed by the New York Times Deal Book Summit via video on November 30th. She responded to questions regarding the so-called Chinese invasion and the interference with Taiwan presidential election. Here are some points. A, the New York Times brought out the question, how to evaluate the risk of Chinese invasion in Taiwan. President Tsai said she does not perceive any possibility that China will invade Taiwan in the near future. She said the Chinese leadership at this juncture is overwhelmed by its internal challenges. Perhaps, and here I quote, this is not a time for them to consider a major invasion of Taiwan. But why? President Tsai said not just because of the Chinese internal economic and political challenges, but also because of the international community has made it clear and that the war is not an option. B, Biden administration tries to move some Taiwan chip production to the U.S. Will it make the Taiwan-U.S. relationship less valuable to the U.S.? President Tsai said it is a good move for Taiwan to help allies to build supply chain resilience. She also reiterated that Taiwan is confident that Taiwanese semiconductor companies cannot be replaced anywhere else. C, Reuters had an exclusive report on Chinese interference with the Taiwan election on December 1st. And the title of the article is China Lures Hundreds of Taiwan Politicians with Cheap Trips Before Elections. And the report said that more than 400 local opinion leaders, such as village heads, visit China in the past months. And except for the airfare, well, all expenses are offered by Chinese authorities. I think it is a scenario we call Chinese interference with the Taiwan election. President Tsai also warned that China might try to sway voters toward presidential candidates seeking closer ties with Beijing. What about the reaction of Taiwanese people? President Tsai did tell the New York Times that some commentators suggested that the Taiwanese people may be too calm when facing Chinese interference in the Taiwan presidential election. However, President Tsai reiterated that the Taiwanese people remain clear-eyed about the situation, and Taiwan will continue to make the utmost efforts to strengthen its defense capabilities against China. Here are the top stories. First, I want to talk about allies call for Taiwan's inclusion in COP28. We know that prime ministers from Taiwan allies St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, Tuvalu, and Eswatini voiced support for Taiwan's participation in the UN's annual climate conference in COP28. St. Lucia Prime Minister Philippe Pierre said that Taiwan must not be left behind. St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Terence Drew said that we believe Taiwan should be allowed to play a meaningful role in the UN policy initiatives. Moreover, Japan France draw up a roadmap for security cooperation. Japan and France have agreed on a roadmap until 2027 to strengthen the defense and economic cooperation to focus on addressing China's increasing influence in the Indo-Pacific. In addition, U.S. to deploy new ground-based missiles to Indo-Pacific in 2024. The U.S. military plans to deploy ground-based intermediate-range missiles in the Indo-Pacific in 2024. And this is the first arsenal in the region since the end of the Cold War to enhance deterrence against China. U.S. Army Pacific spokesperson Rob Phillips said that. He said options being considered include land-based versions of the Standard Missile-6 and the Tomahawk cruise missiles. The ranges of the missiles are between 500 and 2,700 kilometers. On the other hand, U.S. top military official Brown said that Americans should be concerned about the possibility of China invading Taiwan. U.S. Chairman of Joint Chiefs Charles Brown said that we are also worried about whether the conflict is going to happen or not. And that is the reason why deterrence is so important. The conflict does not occur. He also said that PRC is putting pressure on Taiwan, putting pressure on countries in the Indo-Pacific, in whether economically or militarily. Also, Raimondo warns against China threat. U.S. Commerce Chief Gina Raimondo urged lawmakers, Silicon Valley's and U.S. allies to stop China from getting semiconductors and cutting-edge technologies key to national security. She said that, well, Beijing is the biggest threat that we've ever had. China is not our friend. She also called out NVIDIA that they designed chips specifically for the Chinese market after the U.S. imposed its initial round of curbs in October 2022. She said, if you redesign a chip around a particular cut line that enables them to do AI, I'm going to control it in the very next day. We know that NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang doesn't have any comments so far. In the end, I want to share with you that Taiwan beat Korea 4-0 in the Asia Baseball Championship opener. We know that Taiwan claimed a 4-0 victory against South Korea in the Asia Baseball Championship. And the triumph was fueled by the starting pitcher, Xu Ruoxi. Well, we can see this is Xu Ruoxi, who recorded 10 strikeouts in the game. And he's a 23-year-old athlete who is from one of the indigenous Pei-Ying tribe. Well, despite having arm surgery last year, his pitching velocity is still very fast. And something is worth mentioning that the game was first held in Taipei Dome. We can see this is Taipei Dome. The place took 32 years to construct, and more than 16,000 Taiwanese came for the game on December 3rd. We can see over here, and that was a great game. Well, that will be the view for today. This is Catherine from Taipei, and today is Monday. I hope you all have a nice Monday. I'll see you again.